Picture this. You're 30 years old. You have the husband, the sprawling country house, the successful career, and the silver platter future. Yet, instead of feeling like you've won the game of life, you find yourself sobbing on the bathroom floor at 3 a.m., realizing that you don't want any of it. This isn't just a scene from a movie. It's the universal check engine light of the human soul. This is the exact moment of emotional bankruptcy that kickstarts Elizabeth Gilbert's journey in her era-defining book, Eat, Pray, Love. Most people look at this book as a simple travelogue about a woman eating pasta and finding a boyfriend. But that's a surface-level trap. What Elizabeth Gilbert is actually exploring is a question we all face but are often too terrified to ask. Is it possible to completely dismantle your life to find out who you are when no one is watching? Today, we're looking past the postcards and the pop culture tropes to see what this book actually teaches us about the mechanics of pleasure, the discipline of devotion, and the messy, often inconvenient search for balance. Let's dive into the first major pillar of the book, the art of pleasure. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a bustling Roman piazza. The air smells like roasted coffee and ancient stone. When Elizabeth Gilbert arrives in Italy, she isn't just there to see the Colosseum. She is there to recover from a starvation of the spirit. In our modern world, we are obsessed with productivity. We treat our bodies like machines, and our time like a currency that must be spent wisely. But in this book, Gilbert introduces us to a concept the Italians call bel far niente, the beauty of doing nothing. Think about the last time you sat still without checking your phone, without a to-do list running in your head, and without feeling guilty about it. Most of us can't do it. We've been conditioned to believe that if we aren't producing, we aren't valuable. Gilbert uses her time in Italy to argue that pleasure isn't just a luxury, it's a form of medicine. She describes the act of eating a perfect thin crust pizza or a bowl of pasta not as gluttony, but as a re-entry into the senses. This book challenges us to realize that when we lose our ability to enjoy the world, we lose our connection to life itself. The lesson here isn't just go to Italy and eat. It's a radical call to stop apologizing for your own joy. Imagine a visual of a clock slowing down until the gears stop turning entirely. That is the headspace this book tries to pull us into. But pleasure, as the book eventually points out, can only take you so far. If Italy is the eat phase of the recovery, India is the pray phase, and it's arguably the most difficult part of the journey. Picture a stark, silent ashram at 4 a.m. No distractions, no wine, no gourmet meals. This is where Elizabeth Gilbert tackles the anteater of the mind. That's her metaphor for the relentless, churning thoughts that keep us trapped in the past or anxious about the future. In this section of the book, Gilbert deconstructs the myth that spirituality is all zen and peaceful vibes. She shows us that meditation is actually a gritty, frustrating battle. She spends hours trying to sit still while her mind screams at her, bringing up every regret and every insecurity she's ever had. It's a powerful reminder that you can't travel away from yourself. You can change your zip code, but you're still bringing your brain with you. This book highlights a fundamental truth. Silence isn't the absence of noise. It's the presence of self-awareness. Elizabeth Gilbert teaches us that the only way to find peace is to walk straight through the fire of your own internal chaos. She suggests that we aren't just looking for God or a higher power. We are looking for the unstruck sound of our own soul. Eventually, the journey moves to Indonesia, where the book explores the third pillar, the quest for balance. Imagine a lush, green jungle in Bali, where the humidity feels like a warm blanket. Here, Gilbert meets a medicine man who tells her that to find happiness, one must stand with 4 feet on the earth, but look at the world through the heart. This sounds poetic, but the book explains it through a very practical lens. In Italy, she was too focused on the physical world. In India, she was too focused on the spiritual world. Bali represents the middle path. This book argues that we aren't meant to be monks living in caves, but we also aren't meant to be hedonists living only for the next dopamine hit. The real work of being human is finding the pivot point between these two extremes. Elizabeth Gilbert uses her experiences in Bali to show that balance isn't a destination you reach and then stay it forever. It's a constant daily adjustment. It's like riding a bicycle. You only stay upright as long as you keep moving and reacting to the bumps in the road. Now, we have to talk about the critique. This is where we move from summary to analysis. Why is this book so polarizing? On one hand, Elizabeth Gilbert's writing is a masterclass in vulnerability. She turned her divorce and her depression into a universal map for self-discovery. However, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is the sheer level of privilege required to do what she did. Not everyone can quit their job and spend a year traveling through 3 different countries on a publisher's advance. Some critics argue that the book is the ultimate expression of first world problems. A wealthy woman complaining about her life while surrounded by people in developing nations who are working just to survive. There is a consumerist vibe to the spirituality presented here. It's as if enlightenment is something you can buy with a plane ticket. But here is the counter-argument. Does privilege make her pain less real? Does it make her insights less valid? The reason this book became a global phenomenon is because, despite the expensive travel, the core of the struggle is something everyone feels. The bathroom floor moment is a universal human experience. Whether you're in a mansion or a studio apartment, the feeling of being lost is the same. This book matters because it gave people permission to say, I am not okay with the life I've built. It's a critique of the American dream that suggests that maybe the dream is actually a cage. Elizabeth Gilbert's journey is transformative because it shifts the focus from what do I have to who am I? Even if we can't all fly to Bali, the book forces us to look at the internal geography of our own lives. So, what is the final verdict? Eat, pray, love is not a travel guide. It's a blueprint for an internal revolution. It's for the person who feels like they are living a life designed by someone else. It's for the person who has forgotten how to enjoy a meal without counting the calories, or how to sit in silence without feeling like they're wasting time. While it can sometimes feel a bit navel-gazing, its honesty is its greatest strength. Elizabeth Gilbert doesn't pretend to be a perfect guru. She presents herself as a hot mess who is just trying to figure it out, and that makes her incredibly relatable. If you're looking for a book that will give you all the answers, this isn't it. But if you're looking for a book that will help you ask better questions, then this is essential reading. It reminds us that we are allowed to change our minds. We are allowed to leave situations that no longer serve us. And most importantly, we are allowed to be the protagonists of our own lives. Your actionable step for today doesn't require a passport or a plane ticket. I want you to practice the Italian concept we talked about, bel far niente. For just 15 minutes today, I want you to do absolutely nothing. No phone, no podcast, no chores, no planning. Just sit. Notice the taste of your water. Notice the light in the room. Observe the anteater of your mind without trying to feed it. See how long it takes for the guilt of being unproductive to kick in, and then sit through it anyway. Reclaiming your time is the first step to reclaiming your life. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to explore more deep dives into the books that actually change how we think, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're building a community of people who want to look beyond the surface of edutainment and actually apply these lessons to the real world. Thank you for watching.